The fun never ends.
Yeah.
Instead of the barbarian starting shit, it's always the bard.
Oh yeah.
Hold on. What does Alex start?
Yeah, really.
Well, technically, every time we let's fight.
Oh yeah, because I say I tag. That's out of character.
I know, but it's still funny.
I started the world war against Chronons.
Fair enough.
You kind of did.
For the means to fight back, anyway.
Yeah, I just like to think I started the fight.
Which also means that we fail, it's all his fault.
There you go.
Hold on 1 second.
Okay, because I'll still be rich. There's no such thing as bad publicity.
Hold on 1 sec. I got a phone call. Give me 1 second.
Yep.
This is Fortis, not LA, okay? Can still be defamed.
Well said.
Yeah, if Cronon wins, I think you'll wind up being his bitch. You won't get it. Have a lot of stuff there, buddy.
I love you, my wife. Later, my world.
So just be an undead guy. An undead bard.
Alright, I'm back.
No gallows dirt, no gallows steals, no gallows humor.
What'd I miss?
Not much.
Okay. Alright,
I
you
have an
guys...
important cosmological question.
Sure.
Is an undead bard in tune?
Oh.
That depends. You have to use a tuning fork to find out.
Well, it
That's
wasn't
a good
even a
one.
pun. What's the matter?
That's good. That's a paradox right there.
Oh, man.
Paradox, what?
And this
He
game
said,
will never
I'm
get
wearing my new pair of Docs. Doc Martens.
Hey, that was a good way to go with it. I like that.
Okay, anyways, you guys walk out the town. Or else you'll never get out of Montana.
Seriously.
This would probably be a good way for us to defeat a dungeon. Just annoy him with puns until he's like, okay, you get through. You want, just 16,000 gold. You raise 3 levels. Can we just... We're done.
Nope. That's where I just bring in more bad guys to slowly kill you.
So we were headed to Cardiff Village first, right? And headed to the that northeastern part of the map.
Sounds right.
That's the
Oh,
truth.
I know what we were doing. We were marching with the group because I think Grizz, didn't you want to check on somebody over there? And then we were gonna go north to the Dead Valley.
No, I remember the some of the army is going to be at Cardiff, so I might have wanted to check on their plans. Maybe, I don't know.
I think you want that, or you wanted some training, maybe, or something. There was something there. It seemed like we had a point of interest there, and we were going to march with the. We were going to march with the army that goes from Montana to Cardiff, and then, gosh darn, I'm having a hard time really remembering the details. We had a plan, guys. We had it all sorted.
You guys really
I
did
know.
have a plan. Yeah, you guys had a pretty decent plan set up. Like you had different armies going to different locations where you guys were all
That's
gonna
right.
basically
Remember,
sit.
Grizz, you set it up where you had one smaller group that was going to go around the Blood Plains over the other side to deal with that, and then our main force was going to go up into the Dead Valley. I think we're going to stop at Cardiff for maybe there's more forces there, or check on it or whatever, or free it in case it needs it. And then we're going to go north to the Dead Valley, and I believe the plan was that we're going to stopgap their holes with the surface army while us, the party, goes down to we have a line on some gear, I believe, that's going to help us with Gronons, right? So we're going to do that while the armies try to strategically plug the holes, so to speak.
So
Yes.
we also have griffins. Remember that. We also we were told that there are 2 more keys in the middle of the Blood Plains.
No,
and there's 1 in the Temple of the Elements.
There's 1 key in the Blood Plane and there's 1 key in the Temple of Elements.
Oh, I see. I actually, sorry, 2 more keys, and then it says, okay, now
There
my
you
notes
go.
make more sense. We also have our war domain cleric, Bela, who's I think with us.
I don't remember what I named her.
Yes, she was
What?
with us.
Yeah, we named her Bela, remember?
Sure. Damn you, making me have to have NPCs around.
And I have an intelligent battle axe too.
Yep,
No, you
they
don't.
can talk to Oh, well, I have an intelligent sword.
Nice try, guys.
I do.
Wait, somebody's got an intelligent something because I remember that.
I do. An intelligent
Yes,
sword.
he does have
Okay.
an intelligent sword.
Maybe you should give it to Charles's character. Somebody's got to be intelligent over there.
That would be very bad for him.
Oh, I saw that coming, you dirty bastard.
I saw that one coming too. All right, you guys take your griffins, go to Cardiff Village with the rest of the army in tow. Cardiff is not currently under siege.
Excellent.
Took you guys about 2.5 weeks to get there, because you were traveling with the military itself. As you got just about to the north of the little tip there that I pointed out, where the bay kind of comes in, part of your group split off. So you have one group going to Cardiff, you have one group going to Solva to see kind of intel, and then you have another part of your army going all the way around to Tonki Village and Gano, trying to take those back.
And
Yeah.
the Temple of the Elements, we were told, is in the Dead Valley.
Yep.
That is the way to get there, and that's because
Well,
that's where the city is.
It's
Under the
below
Dead
the Dead Valley. We're actually going to probably here or here.
Isn't Catan also coming with us?
Yeah, he is.
He's our guide. Yep.
Yep.
Catan, Sarah, and then the cleric chick.
Bela.
Mhm.
She has a name.
I forget it, so don't feel bad.
Her name is
Yeah.
Berla.
It's a dwarf, so meh.
And she's gonna make a barricade for us.
Ugh.
It's not
I was
gonna
hoping
stop.
not to bring those in here.
Oh shit, I forgot. The cross pollination.
Yes, it was. That was all Monday. Oh, Jesus, not all Thursday.
I like how that one player actually quit the game because of that.
No, that's not why he quit. Well, I don't know. It might have been. I don't know.
I prefer to believe it is.
It could be. There were a lot of puns going around with that one. Okay.
So I guess we're gonna gear up. One thing about Alec, you guys might have noticed since the last dungeon crawl, is that I guess he's kind of doing a little bit of a Thrain, but not to that extent, where he seems a lot more dark, a lot more pensive, a lot more just hardened in a lot of ways, a lot more to business, a lot less let's tell stories, a lot less mirth. He's being weathered by all of this over all this time, and that should probably come through pretty clear in the next two weeks that we travel.
I see nothing wrong here. Carry on.
You seem to have a heavy heart, my friend. Are you alright?
Yes, well, let's just say I'm coming around to reality.
What do you mean by that?
The war is going well in a way, but we've lost so much.
We all lose many things. Hopefully we can make a difference and to stop losing more.
Well, let's just say some of the elven fires rage yet within me, despite my humanity. I've lost my father and many kin. I intend to see this through, as I'm sure we all do.
Mm-hmm. You bet you're damn right.
And I'm growing less stoic about it by the day.
Well, no need to be stoic. These things take their toll on people. Express yourself how you need to. Just don't get too reckless.
And he nods. He's quiet about that.
He kind of nods to you. Lets you think.
But I will also, during the journey, at times when it's appropriate, I'll be writing a lot. Now that we've got this thing set up with my man.
Okay. I like
I'll
this.
be talking to my griffin.
Okay. What are you saying?
Just trying to get on equal terms with him since he's a big bad alpha badass, and I want him to match me. So trying to do my best to get a really good.
Form a bond.
Yeah, I was about to say camaraderie, but bond works better.
Okay. Within about the 2 weeks, by the way, I'm going to ask everybody since Threem brought it up. Do you guys try and have some kind of bond with your mounts? Because officially these are all yours permanently.
Yes, I would absolutely talk to Val and chat her up.
Okay.
Make sure she's okay. See how she likes to fly. Get to know them a little bit.
Oh,
See if they
they love
Well-
flying. Their biggest thing is they're hungry a lot.
ah.
Yeah, and they want fresh meat.
So regularly, maybe we'll have either certain times when they do get hungry, we can go off to the side and find areas for them to hunt. Maybe even help them. At least I will.
Do they like sushi?
They could try.
Hell
don't
yeah, they
care.
like sushi. I'm sure they don't cook their fish. That's for
I,
damn sure.
I know where he was going with this.
I know where he was going to, but I'm ignoring
I
that one.
didn't. I didn't get it.
Yeah,
Over my head.
I would swallow one of these bastards.
Thrain switches into a shark. That's the whole hint.
Oh.
That's where he was going with it. But no, actually, their preferred choice of meat is actually horse.
Oh, okay. Well, we start feeding the steeds of the army to.
Well, no, I mean,
no.
for other means, I mean, these griffins have particularly been trained by the Elven nations, so they've gotten used to going out and hunting their own stuff, and then getting but they don't take over what they need. They whatever they don't eat, they kind of, in a sense, they basically go out. They do the hunting. They'll bring back the meat, and then they get their part while the rest of the troops get whatever they want.
I'd actually love to hunt with her if it's possible. At the very least.
Yeah, I'm gonna be on mine hunting.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna go with mine right now. I'll usually probably stay with the caravan while mine hunts.
Okay. To make it easy, I'm not gonna have you guys roll or anything. You guys go out and hunt various areas and get some good game and stuff like that. You guys get some for you while they're getting some for them.
Basically, yeah.
You guys get to Cardiff Village, like I said. It's still intact, still being run by normal people. They have heard the rumors, so they are a little terrified. But with the sudden influx of military that you guys brought with you, they seem a bit more secure.
We need a banner, Alec, so they know who the hell they're dealing with.
A banner? Oh, great idea.
Yeah, who cares about the army? We're here.
Well said.
Marco chuckles at that.
Everybody make a perception check.
As usual.
Wow.
Alec can. I mean, we can march into town. Alec can arrange a basic formation. He'll play on his hurdy-gurdy. It will be a song that has some somber tones, has some respect for the dead. It's not just about corralling the troops anymore and excitement. It's about, we're in the thick of it. This means something, and that are singing singing the story of all that has transpired as we go along and enter the town.
Okay. Then we'll hold off on the perception check, so it gives you guys another chance to roll. I'm not going to count that one, even though Marcus was really nice. The
Damn
one
it.
time, watch the next one; it'll be like a 1.
Oh, my bad. I didn't mean to.
Go. Well,
Good
actually,
call, Jack.
actually, I'll keep theirs. Roll your performance real quick, Alec.
Nice.
Okay. Yeah, you're putting on a show, and the rest of the group that's coming with you is all they're all marching, and as you start singing and telling this unique story, they all seem to kind of puff up with pride. You guys did forget that you did have one other member with you. Oh no, sorry, he left. I'm gonna say the very popular captain.
Oh, Skyblade.
Correct.
Yeah, that's what I figured. I thought he left.
Yeah, I just remembered, yeah, that he had to go back to the Open Nations. He specifically came to drop off the Griffins. Okay.
And he's awesome.
Hmm?
And he is awesome for doing that.
Yes, he is.
Well, he was under orders by the new queen.
Can you imagine the sight of our army marching into town led by griffins and us, the bard on the back of one of them with the song and all that?
Okay. I need Alec to make a perception check, and I need Havar to make a perception check. Natural 20. Nice.
Whoa.
Charles. Did you already roll in
Hold on.
Discord? Did it wrong. Backwards. Backslash comes before the R. Oh, there we go. Okay. Alec, you see it first. Marco, you see it next. You could swear as you guys kind of come into town, the people are all kind of cheering. You could swear, just in the background, just barely visible. You thought you saw what looked like a very small forked tail seem to disappear behind one of the buildings.
I will say to the group, "Hey, I think I might have saw something over here."
Alec nods his agreement that something's there, and I kick. I mean, I kick, quote unquote, kick my steed into gear.
Gotcha.
I don't kick my steed.
Kick your steed, it kicks back.
Yeah, no, I don't do that. But let's have its wings spread and let's take to the air and get a bird's eye view of what's going on down there.
Help you out with that. I'll send up my UAV, aka my Raven.
UAV. That's funny. Okay. Do you just send the Raven up, or do you go up with him?
I'll go straight up and see if I can see something, but my Raven's going to be where they pointed it out, like circling.
Okay. Marco, you stay on the ground.
Yeah, I stay on the ground.
Do you let anybody else know?
Well, I said to the group.
To your
That
group,
I-
yes. Most
Oh,
of,
do I let him?
most of the military is kind of marching about 20 feet behind you. Aside from the commanders who are kind of in between your group and them, you guys are kind of
Okay.
off on your own. You guys
You
are
could
basically
send
the
them like
Legion
a-
pack.
I'll let the men know behind me that I saw something on the other edge of the building, and that I'd like them to go around on the other side to where we saw it,
Okay.
so that we can get 2 people surrounded, whatever it might be.
As you guys make your way, as Thrain and Alec take to the sky, and you kind of work your way around, you notice the major. What the hell? The major that's currently leading this group. He kind of motions, quick, brief, couple of hand motions, and you see about 6 people break off from the group and kind of veer off around the side. The rest of the military, continues to proceed through and, play like nothing's going on.
So I'm walking up to where I saw this forked tail.
Okay. As you get around the corner, you don't see anything. Those in the sky, make a perception check. Thrain, make 2 perception checks. One for you, one for your bird.
I don't see shit, maybe, but my bird does.
Awesome. Alright, by the way, Marco, sorry, Havar, did you go with Marco, since he said there was something around the side that seemed kind of fishy?
Yeah.
Okay. Then you make a perception check. And Marco make a perception check. Wow. just not hard. Havar's day today. Put him fighting something he's good. Make him see something
He's saving
blind.
it up.
Alright, for those in the air, anybody who got over a 15 will be able to see it. So, Thrain, your bird saw. Marco, you saw. And Alec, you saw. What you guys saw was what looked like some kind of little reddish creature.
I attack.
You're up in the air.
I can attack.
Technically, yes. But let me finish first. As soon as it seems to notice that, you know, it's got people moving all around it, you see it wave its hand real quick and disappears.
I immediately sent an arrow where it was.
Counterspell.
Ooh.
Okay.
Nice.
Damn it, I didn't. Never mind. I don't have counterspell.
Okay.
Well, I'm shooting
I
where
do
it
that.
was.
Counterspell as a druid.
Okay. Thrain, you can roll an attack with disadvantage. You guys have been practicing on your mounts, but not enough during flight to really do much right now. Okay. As you shoot, it hits into the ground right where that thing should have been.
Alright. Ask my griffin if he smells anything.
Griffin shakes his head no. For those who have Arcana, roll an Arcana check.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I have Jack of all trades as a bard skill monkey. Can I do it?
Sure, why not? As a bard skill monkey. Okay. Well, the one thing you guys can both determine is that wasn't an invisibility spell. That was a... You've only seen it a few times, and the way you guys have seen it and had it done to you, it was much different. But that looked like something like a teleportation spell.
It looks like whatever it was, it teleported out of here.
And you guys...
Okay, I go. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
You guys also know that the little creature you saw, well, Alec, you more specifically know just due to your various reading and your background knowledge. That was an imp.
Is an imp? Do I know? Is an imp infernal?
Yes. You also know they're usually lower subjects and usually are controlled by something.
The heck is? I'm gonna go to the soldiers. Do you know?
Oh, I was just gonna say I apply a liberal coating of imp away bat spray to the area.
Imp away bat spray.
Aluk and Thrain are up in the air, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. I go to the soldiers and I say, oh shit, I wouldn't know it's an imp.
Well, you do now because Alec. Wait, was it the Monday game that we have the? No, we don't. We can't communicate with each other the way they can. In,
Nope. No,
No,
you guys haven't gotten this yet.
teleport. Okay.
Yeah, you guys have the teleportation ones. Thursday has the messenger rings.
Well, we're coming down anyway to tell you what we saw.
Yeah, I would assume so.
Well, I don't know what I'm. So I'm still pulling security.
Basically, you guys have figured out that that was probably the only one here, but he was here for a reason. You're assuming it was probably more recon. Just by the fact that it was a small creature, makes sense. It would be able to hide in this town pretty easily.
Yeah, but the fact that it's an imp is not good.
No.
Because that's definitely a next level kind of thing compared to the goblins and things.
Yeah, that means imps usually don't come out of the nine hells because it's not their kind of thing. If they were sent to the material plane, it's usually sent for a reason.
I'm gonna send the Raven on like a sweep of the entire village.
Okay. While you guys were, kind of focusing on that, Marco, you come back. What do you ask the military?
I just asked them, did you see that?
No, we didn't, sir. Sorry. Should we be on alert?
I give him the, I tell him that, I give him the description of what it looked like, the reef side I saw of it, and I said, it teleported out, but who knows where it could have gone.
Okay, so
Save.
they have no clue what it is.
Alec comes down and from his griffin, or with his griffin, and lands nearby, and rides it over, and declares to everybody that it would seem appropriate to report to. It was an imp, I'm sure of it.
All right. The rest, you notice the major who you guys have been associating with, these 2 weeks. He's a pretty decent guy. He is a human. He is a member of the Crimson Guard, but he is a firm and devout follower of Aso. So yeah, he has the firm backing of the God King of Fortis. So he believes heavily in him. So he would never turn. It would take a lot to corrupt this one. But he's a pretty decent guy. Just doing what he can. He's typical what you expect. I mean, he's just trying to make a living. Is really all it boils down to.
He's just this guy,
Yeah. He nods to you, and he walks over to a couple of his men, says something in very hushed tones. You notice he's kind of keeping an eye out, because there's still people in the village, kind of out. Oh, look at this, they feel, you can see the relief on these villagers' faces as this military is sitting here now. They definitely seem a bit more relieved. You know what? Actually, you guys on the ground, make an insight check. I know, lots of rolls tonight.
Damn.
Woo!
Nice. There's what you needed.
I swear I clicked. Oh, there. No, I swear I clicked the button and it's still not rolling the dice.
Do you have it set up for like query advantage or something like that?
No.
I don't know then. Just don't like it.
I'm gonna hit it again.
Now to come up like 4 times.
Yeah, it's still not rolling.
Weird.
My internet, I swear, it's probably me.
Oh, just in case. There. Jesus.
Thanks a lot.
Sorry. I rolled it using your character sheet. Oh, it doesn't really matter. There you go. Now it finally shows up. Okay, I'll take that one.
Wow.
Hey, yours is better than mine, so I'll take that one. Marco, there are at least 2 people who don't seem too happy that this military is here. You do notice that as you're kind of just looking around, because you're just sitting there, kind of talking to him. You're still a little on edge because this crazy little imp thing was out of nowhere. There's both the rolls now. You notice as you kind of look in their direction, you were kind of looking at them a little hard, and you didn't realize it because you're just like, hey, these guys look a little weird. They seem to notice you, and they go into one of the buildings.
Send me, send me, send me, send me.
I say to the people here, two chaps that didn't look too happy. I went in over there. Hey, Mar, I'd like you to come with me.
Thrain, you're still up in the air, flying around.
I dismount and follow.
Let's go.
Well, you
So-
guys, since you guys told the major, about the activity, he does casually make his troops kind of fan out into the city. You do notice that they are a lot more alert and focused now. They have a more serious tone, but when they're near, villagers, they're, kind of smiling and, kind of nodding, but they definitely seem targeted on trying to make sure that there are no other surprise guests.
So when I go in the building, like, is it a building that seems like a private residence or like a store or shop?
This is actually a little, just a little like a general goods store.
So I put like a pretty okay look on my face.
So I have no idea where my group went, do I?
No, you're busy kind of floating around the city, around the village, just kind of keeping an eye on things while your Raven is also checking. Basically where your Raven would be like at the north and you'll be kind of at the south side. You guys are kind of making like circles, just kind of keeping an eye out. I do want you and your Raven to make another perception check.
Okay, real quick before they get into their thing, I also want to look for the route that the army was traveling. I want to see if there's any wagons or anything on the road that could be used to hide explosives or a trap or something.
Okay. Make a perception check first, and then make your investigation check.
Well, we don't see shit, but
Wow.
in case that I did,
Watch his perception and watch his investigation be higher.
probably not. Actually, yes, because my investigation is enough wisdom.
Nice.
Chaos attribute.
I'll get to you in a second now.
There
Okay.
you go.
There are no like empty wagons or anything along the road, but you can definitely tell that further to the north, there's definitely still a very large force around. You're far enough away where they probably don't see you. It's just like a small dot, far off on the horizon. But you know that way is definitely all kinds of fun.
Coming this way?
As you sit and kind of watch it for a little bit, and your griffin, kind of agrees to, kind of float, and as you're watching it a little bit, no, they seem pretty content where they're at. You've watched it for, we'll say, a couple minutes. They're not moving. They would have gotten closer by now, even a little bit, but nah, they don't seem to be moving.
Well, while they do their thing, I guess I'll continue to crisscross around the village, keeping an eye out.
Okay. Unfortunately, your perception rolls sucked, so...
Can I have my griffin help me?
Damn you.
Aha!
Damn, I gotta stop giving you stuff that I have to think of. Hold on, let me find the griffin in the book.
It's gotta have better perception than me.
It actually has advantage on its perception checks that rely on sight.
Sweet.
Yeah, it's got perception +5. Nice. Alright. Give me a second. Oh, nice.
Woohoo!
It sees what you did not. The imp teleported to the other side of the town.
Well,
It actually starts heading in that direction. Like, even before you even, like you're still kind of looking around, and all of a sudden your griffin's veering off, and it's veering off, and you're like, wait a minute, where the hell are we going?
well, I'll pause there, but I'm gonna tell him dive in on him, grab him in your talons, and hold him tight.
Gotcha. Okay, Adam. What do you do as you enter into the... it's just a little general store. I mean, it's not very big, because Cardiff Village isn't very large.
Right.
It's just, a small one, and contains a few supplies. Looks like they don't have a lot right now. probably due to everything going on, they've kind of tried to help out.
So who's inside? Are the same two people still inside?
You don't even see them.
Weird.
You do
Okay.
see what you're gathering is like the owner, or at least one of the staff for the place. They seem to be putting some stuff away on shelves.
So I kind of go to the men and say, "Hi there. How are you?"
I'm okay, and you?
I'm just kind of there listening.
Okay.
Long journey, but pretty.
Alec and Havar, make a perception check.
Say, there were two rather upset-looking gentlemen. I thought I'd go and talk to them. They just came in here.
He looks confused at you for a minute. Waiting on Havar. Okay. Okay. I will be using Adam, by the way, to answer your Facebook question. Whenever you can. I'd prefer it before next week, if you got time.
Solid. Okay.
I'm going to use, from now on, Facebook to send you guys individual messages when it comes to things involving the game during game day, as to make it more interesting.
Oh, so it doesn't get lost in the clutter?
That too. But more specifically because I hate trying to do the whole whisper thing on Roll20. I'm not good at that yet.
Okay. So what does the man say? Like you said, he looked confused.
One second.
Okay.
So, Tyson, check your Facebook.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, when you get high rolls like that, I'll send it to you through Facebook. Just make it easier. Unless it's something that, you can tell them later, but just kind of my little way of whispering makes it easier. He looks at you. I'm sorry, I've been here stalking. I didn't really notice, and I didn't see anybody come in. I do have a little bit of traffic that comes in, and with you guys, I'll probably have more.
Yeah,
But
that's great.
kind of really haven't been paying attention. Been more trying to get the store restocked.
Well, it's odd that they're not here at the front waiting to buy something.
Okay, who's in here with me?
You, Marco, and Havar.
Okay, Alex got a funny look in his eyes, kind of look that you guys get when shit is either about to or hitting the fan, and he makes sure he gets a quick eye contact with both Havar and Marco to make sure that you guys know that I'm at least on yellow alert, if not red, and you guys might want to be there too. And then you see me pull out my loot, and I just start pacing around the shop a little bit as though I'm not involved in the conversation. I'm going to start playing a soft tune. And along with that tune is going to carry the spell Dispel Magic.
So
Put my hand on my weapons.
Nice.
I kind of stay on that high alert, and I talk to the and I kind of give the shop owner like a look of, "Hey, looks like there's some danger here. Let's just be calm." Kind of like that. I'm having that appearance on my face.
Okay, he's looking really confused at you. Hold on.
And then he says, all he says is, "So, do you happen to have any meat for griffins on the road, rations and the like?"
I have some fresh meat that I just got. I don't know if the griffins will like it. Give me one
Is it
second.
horse?
He looks confused. No.
He just kind of looks, he kind of keeps his ears perked up and kind of angles himself in a way that he can keep an eye on Havar and
Okay.
Luke.
As Luke is wandering around playing this tune, you see the entire interior of the area seem to shake and then just drop. And standing before you, hey, there's one of the guys you were looking for. And by the way, this general store is empty. There's nothing else here.
And then what does the man in front of me look like?
Looks like one of the guys you've been looking for.
Hmm. Ah, hello.
You hear him go, fuck.
Stay right there.
Yeah, he's not stupid enough to make any moves. And when the facade dropped, you do see he's armed, but he's not stupid enough to make moves. A, because there are two of you close to him. B, because your buddy is wandering around keeping a close eye out.
So, you seemed rather upset.
You don't understand. You're here. We're in danger. Get out.
What do you mean? Insight check.
Okay.
Me too.
Okay.
Not bad.
Havar, you're welcome to roll it if you want. Not bad. You guys are actually doing pretty good. Your rolls have been helping you a lot with a lot of these things. And the only reason the spell worked, by the way, Alec, is because the spell was a lesser level than what you needed.
It was 3rd or lower. Oh, good.
Yep. Nice. Okay. All of you. He is dead serious about him meaning that, because you guys are here, there's danger. But he's... how to put this? Trying to find the right words. He's not more scared. He's more implying that the danger is you guys.
What do you mean?
Well, yeah. So Alex says, pulling out his rapier and swishing it through the air slightly, a little bit more like his old self suddenly. Well, I don't know if you've been reading the news lately, but danger is our speciality.
Alright, you kind of wave the rapier around. He's starting to visibly like sweat, and he's looking real nervous between the three of you. He's got that look like he's about to rabbit.
He's about to what?
Rabbit. He's about to run.
Okay, I'll wild. No, I'm not gonna wild shape yet.
Well,
But-
we have Havar.
Yeah,
You
we
got-
do have Habar.
The way you guys, I'm assuming the way you guys are kind of standing at this point. Mainly because of the way you guys have just been smart enough to, especially once Alec kind of hinted that you guys were in an odd situation, you guys all kind of fanned out. So you basically have him in like a triangle formation. There's really nowhere he can run. But he's just got that look, the deer in the headlights look like he's got a run.
Cornered animal.
I start kind of moving over toward him, not rushing or anything, just kind of.
I say, what do you mean? Why are you in danger? Did it have anything to do with that imp we saw? And the kind of suspicious look.
Speak, man, while we're listening.
He looks at you and he watches as Havar gets closer, and he kind of takes a step back. And then the weirdest thing happens. A pillar of flame shoots up from underneath the guy and burns him to a crisp.
I like look.
What do you do?
I look flabbergasted. Like, is it the one that I was talking to?
Yep.
I look at Alec and go, "Wow, was that you?"
No, that wasn't me.
And he's like, well, it wasn't him because you see him diving for cover.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, holy shit.
Obviously wasn't him. The good news is it dies down pretty quick, and where that gentleman was standing is just a pile of ash, and his crappy weapons.
Right, so that was a agent of some kind, I'm sure, assassinated by his boss. We know you're here, right? We see your pillars of flames and your imps.
Alec, make an intelligence check. I'll give you advantage because of everything that's been going on. It's kind of, there are things starting to piece together. Oh, wow, that didn't help. From what you gather, due to the pillar of flame, more specifically this particular odor that has now been left over, which is more sulfurous odor, you're starting to piece together that there's some kind of entity from one of the 9 hills here. Which would
So
explain
you
why
might
the
as
other-
well stop all of this charading about and let us see you for your glorious self in person.
Nothing.
Maybe a persuasion?
You can try.
So I'm gonna look towards the other man.
He's not there. 2 win
Can I
8.
stack it and buff
Oh, wait.
it on all that with my advantage because of the magical thing?
Yeah, we'll say you got advantage because you've already kind of made a hint. Yeah, you saw 2 go in, but this is the only guy you've seen. This was the, out of the 2, this seemed to be the more skilled of the 2.
By the way, that was accidentally performance instead of persuasion. They're both the same mod, but I'll reroll if you want me to.
Nah, if it's the same mod, doesn't matter. As long as it ends up being the same, that's fine. Okay, 19.
Yeah.
Okay. Still nothing so far.
So I say, so they're both Ash, basically.
No, only one is Ash. The second person, you have yet to see. As soon as the
No.
facade dropped, as soon as
Oh.
Alec dropped the facade, there was no one else in there.
Huh.
It looks
There's
like...
a fiend in here.
Yeah, basically is what you're assuming.
Well, let's start searching the room.
Perhaps we should get Thrain and reconvene and come in at this more with open eyes, let's say.
Thrain is like chomping at the bit. He's like, oh my god, please.
If we go get him, it's going to get away.
Okay. Well, hold off on you guys for a second because Thrain's been waiting patiently. As you guys dive down to get the imp, it jumps into a building. You didn't know which building.
Oh, as it dives down, I'm going
thought
to
it-
jump off and head into the building.
Okay.
I thought it teleported out.
It teleported to the
It
other
did,
side.
to the
of
other side.
building. The other side of the town.
Oh.
Guess what building it ran into? So, Thrain, as you go chasing it in, you lose sight of it. But as soon
That
as
was
you,
the DM's masterstroke.
yeah, as soon as you run into the back of the building, Alec, Havar, and Marco, you hear some noise coming from the back of the building. And a short time later, you see Thrain come in. He's looking around like he's looking for something.
Oh, but we didn't see the imp coming.
What is it, Thrain?
Nope.
No time, and I go to where I haven't been. I'll go upstairs or whatever.
As you go to open a door, what you see before you kind of
But
makes you...
where, at least I am following him up the stairs.
He doesn't even make it up the stairs. He just randomly opened one door because he's like, he seems to be looking for something. But as soon as he opens the door, in comes a very large creature that steps into view. He's got wings on his back. He's got this weird, creepy face. I'm trying to describe this. It's very hard. A pit fiend.
Basically, he's such a thing as to make Alec regret him calling him out.
Pretty much.
I stab him out of reflex.
Yep,
That's actually the demon laughing. Not he's not laughing. That's the demon.
Yeah, that's it. As you go to stab him, he just kind of swats it away. He just kind of looks at you. What do you want?
I was about to ask you the same thing.
This is my town. Get out.
Again, you're so behind the times. Alec is trying to steal up some bravery in the face of this.
As I said, it is a pit fiend, so if you guys want to look it up, you can.
Well, what do I know about pit fiends? I
They're
guess I'll look it up.
pretty freaking nasty creatures.
Oh, okay. Let me look. See.
Yeah.
I have to make an Arcana roll about pit fiends.
Sure. Just from its look, you'd be able to try and figure it out. Yeah, pit fiends are pretty nasty creatures. They're not usually found outside the Nine Hells, so to have one here is really weird.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, Alec doesn't say that, then I guess he would get. I don't know. What is Alec?
You do know one thing. They usually aren't very tolerable of any other creatures. But for some reason, the way he's poised, I mean, you see he has a weapon on him. He has a mace. And aside from the claws on his hand and his tail and his big wings and his big ass mouth, he has made no move to attack you. Even
All
after,
right, you
even
know
after
what?
Thrain attacked him.
Staying with the tact of, what do you call it when you puff somebody up with compliments? You know, I forget the word for it, but you know what I mean. It's that.
Brown nosing.
That works too.
No, it's a more fancy word.
But yeah,
Kissing ass.
yeah, we
Yeah,
got
but
you.
it still means the same thing.
Yeah, it all
But
works out the same.
yes, Alex says
Flattery.
flattery.
There
Yeah,
we go.
and what would uh, what would a lord glorious as yourself want with a mere village?
He actually smiles at that. Obviously impressed that you have some knowledge to you. This village made a deal in order to protect it from what was coming.
The whole village?
Those in power.
Then perhaps it is those in power whom you own, and not the entire village.
He smiles. Do you want to try and take it from me?
No, not at all. I merely wish to reason out the details of your contract.
He actually nods his head a little bit. He seems much more impressed with you. The weird thing is, what languages do you speak, by the way, Alec?
I speak. Yeah, not very many. I know that. Let's see. Elvish, Common, and Goblin.
Okay. Adam, Marco, Thrain, and Havar, this creature hasn't said a word. You don't realize it. You've heard Alex's responses physically, but you haven't heard the creature say a thing.
I just
It's
kind of have
more-
my eyebrow raised and just kind of look between the two.
Well, more I should say, you haven't seen him say anything. You've been hearing all of this in your mind.
Well, I know what's going on. The question is, DM, there's a bad thing that's about to happen. That you're doing, by the way.
What? I don't know. What
My
you're talking
sword, you see, my sword is right and just, and this is a demon.
about. I know. I'm aware.
Okay.
I am fully aware. I know.
So I just
So you're fighting
said-
Chronons then on behalf of the leadership of this town, are you? Protecting them.
We do not get in the petty squabbles of the mortals, but these particular mortals made a deal we could not pass up.
so I can mentally communicate with this entity.
Alec has been talking to him verbally the entire time. He is responding, but it's all in the head. So, I mean, you guys are hearing his responses.
It's like reverberating in our minds
Yeah.
instead of being
Yeah.
a voice.
Yeah, you don't see him using his words. Obviously, he could tell that none of you spoke his language.
So I can't. So we can't. So we've only heard Alec's responses. I just want to make that clear.
No. You've heard Alec.
No.
You've heard Alec responding verbally, but the pit fiend is not talking verbally. He's talking telepathically.
And you've also heard that.
Yes, he has been talking to all of you, not just Alec.
We here, the heroes of the hearth, myself, Thrain, who is very talented, and by saying that, I'm actually casting combat inspiration on him.
Awesome.
Yay.
Havar, the trustworthy, and I'm casting it on him as well.
Since you guys took so long, and you guys are like standing there having this conversation, you hear the door open again, and you hear Sarah coming in.
Oh, son of a
What
bitch!
the fuck? What the hell is that?
And of course, Sarah, one of our newest members, quite charming, and I cast it on her as well.
She's very confused, but looking at everybody's reaction, and she starts to pick up on something.
Facing my back away from the pitch fiend, I wink at her, and then I
She
turn
nods.
back around.
She kind of walks up. As she gets closer, you guys notice as soon as she has entered the room, the pit fiend's attention turned completely to her.
Us
My
all
sword arm
confer-
twitches.
I'm gonna give everybody one chance. Roll an insight check.
Yes, sir.
I will warn you, the DC on this is gonna be high.
Well, it's a good thing that I have a 1 on it.
Nice.
Wah, wah. Oh, he has something to say whenever it's appropriate. Let me know.
Just waiting on Haybar's roll. Charles.
Oh boy.
There we go. Nice.
My man.
Yeah. Did better than Thrain. Marco and Haybar, the look the Pit Fiend has on his face is not one of animosity towards Sarah. It's more one of fear.
No kind of.
I'm sorry,
No.
it's more one of what now?
Fear. He actually looks... It's very slight, and you only barely notice it. He quickly regathers himself. But he looks more terrified of her than of you guys.
I say to the demon. I know he was going to say something. I didn't. But I say, what is exactly? Depending, of course, on the arrangement of the deal. What exactly is the arrangement? I understand, of course, that there might be confidentialities, but whatever you can illuminate for
You
us.
did fine on the first half.
Yeah, should have stopped there. Sarah is now standing with you guys and kind of watching, and she's eyeing him pretty intensely. But she hasn't said anything. She's just letting you guys do the talking. He says nothing to you, Marco. He doesn't respond. He seems to be kind of in a deadlock with Sarah right now. And you actually notice, you guys all now notice that he visually takes one step back.
Can Alec appear between them?
Sure, you can
Step
step
between
in.
them?
Well, the demon is taking a step backwards. Remember, you guys opened the door, and that's where he was. He's taking a step
No,
back.
not protectively of Sarah, but rather more like an attention-seeking guy getting into the camera shot of a newscast on the street.
Okay, yeah. As you step in the way, he actually briefly looks at you, and it seems like he's waiting on you. Obviously, you wanted the spotlight for a reason.
Yeah, he's smiling as he kind of comes into the quote-unquote shot, so to speak. And as he regains the attention, he repeats that together comprised, we are representatives of these people. And so you should mete out the details of this contract with us. And then we can be on our way
They were to
in
provide.
peace.
They were to provide some souls for our amusement. In return,
Were they souls that these people possessed to give you?
Yes.
And whose souls are these?
Any souls will do, but they promised they would give us souls in return for the protection of the impending attack.
Right. Well, the impending attack is done. We are now protecting them, and you can have your souls, namely those who did a deal with you. Take them and leave. I hereby relinquish you of all contractual obligations and mark this point fulfilled for our end.
You see him actually sit and think for a second. Very well. You see as he walks off, he shifts down into a different form. Marco, there's that second guy you were looking for.
Ah.
He walks right by you guys. He does make a wide berth around Sarah and walks out the door.
I'm going back into the room he came from, and I'm going after the imp.
Imp is nowhere to be found.
Of course he is.
I think we should follow him and make sure that he leaves.
All I gotta say is, Thrain, you're sleeping with something that's worse than a pit fiend.
Or terrifying.
Yeah.
That was
Keep calling me fish now. She'll rip you apart.
Alright.
It still won't change the fact that you're the fish that she's gonna eat sooner or later.
Okay.
Or is it that...
Go ahead.
Go ahead. I was about to say, or is it that she likes my strength?
Okay. Who all follows the pit fiend out the door?
Me.
I will, because I want to kill
I'll give
it.
him a decent berth, but I'll follow him.
Okay.
I'll be right there with him.
Right up next to him.
Go, Thrain, go.
Okay. You guys all kind of wander out of the...
Given
Now
the
empty general
it's
store.
it's really not a good look for us to be seeming like the entourage of the demon. So I recommend that Heroes of the Heart that we just kind of shadow him a bit from the side. That being said, and that's what Alex says, he's not going to stop you if you guys want to tail him.
Yeah, we're just
Poof.
shadowing him. I just want to shadow him is more the best term I want to use.
Okay.
And I'm next to him as much as I can be, and invisible.
Brilliant.
Not so much invisible as more just blending real well within the crowd and within the little village.
Assassin's Creed.
He does, however, see you and doesn't seem to care. He heads straight for what their version of a mayor's house is.
Good.
I feel bad for that man.
Thrain is
And
definitely
everybody
going to see this through, because they're giving their souls, like it or not.
Ah, well. Technically, terms of the agreement have been met in a weird sort of way, so if this mayor doesn't give up souls, you have a feeling this pit fiend will not.
No, it's his soul. He's only getting the souls of the people who said they would give him souls.
Ah,
And that's what Alec is saying.
Yeah, and that's what I'm here to enforce.
that's not what the contract said. From the way the pit fiend worded it, that's not the way the contract is. You know that. You know enough to know that they're
If
very
I know
specific
that-
about their contracts. He
All
may
right,
he may
I
try
appear-
and take
I
a
appear
mayor's
in front of
contract.
him again, and I say, I know what you think you're doing. I know you think that you're going to get all the souls that the mayor gives you in order to save his own. But that's not the way this works, and you know it deep down. One cannot give or sign over a soul they do not control. The mayor does not control the souls of his subjects. The mayor only controls his own.
He nods. Very well.
I'm going in there with you. If they don't give their souls, I'm taking them.
We give you our word, they will give you their souls, but those are the only souls you'll be taking
He,
today.
he turns and looks at you, Thrain. Believe me, they're going to give me their souls.
Well, good.
He walks right in. The guards like try and stop him, and he just looks at him, and they just kind of shrink away.
I walk in behind him.
He's still in his human form. He hasn't shifted out of it. You know that's probably for reasons.
Oh, I thought he was a big, crazy demon-looking guy with wings and all that.
He was.
No, he went down into a human
I
form.
see. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm still shadowing him.
Yeah, before he left the store, he shifted down into a human form in order to better blend in. Probably figured this is not the time to have a little battle. And piddly souls aren't worth all that effort. Yeah, he walks right into the mayor's house. A servant comes up and, sorry, the mayor's busy. The Piffin just looks at the servant, and the servant just, like, backs off
Just
into a corner.
melts.
Backs off into a corner and kind of cowers in fear, and you can actually hear the little bit of pee as he, pees himself. And he keeps walking.
I chuckle as I follow.
Yes,
Marco
this-
comes in later, comes in just afterwards with a blanket, and he sees the guy that's, winced himself. He just kind of goes into his backpack and gives him a blanket.
Thank you. And he, grabs a blanket and, runs off. He walks, you notice the pit fiend seems to know exactly where he's going. You see him walk into a room. You see a gentleman sitting behind a desk. It's beautiful little, study area. You see 3 other people in this room with him. They all kind of stand up and go, we're having a meeting. And you hear, in a deep, very, lack of a better term, devilish voice, say, and I'm here to collect what is mine.
Yeah, so I chime in. Meeting adjourned.
You 4 owe me. Now give me the part in my agreement, or we will have this discussion somewhere a little more private. All 4 of them literally turn almost pale white.
Oh, and by the agreement, he means your souls. Because if you dare take a soul out of somebody who has no idea about this agreement, I'll take your souls and give them to him personally. After I shit on him, I say.
The pit fiend, now that he's back in a house, he shifts back to his form, and he was pretty big when he first saw him. He seems to have gotten bigger.
As he does, and as Thrain says that, Alec comes into the room and says, "Ooh, burn."
The 4 begin immediately stammering, and they seem at a loss for words. And the fiend just waves his hand, and you watch all 4 of them just drop.
Good. Suppose you'll be going now.
Careful, little fish boy. Don't push your luck.
I start laughing.
But yes,
Oh,
the contract is fulfilled. You see him just walk over, and you see him kind of touch each one of them, and a ghostly image, what you gather are their souls, seem to rise up out of them, and immediately you see chains form around their neck and their hands and their legs, and he just kind of waves his hand again, and the souls disappear. And he looks at y'all. Want to make a deal? Kind of smiles.
No. I said no. I said no. Very clearly.
I walk past him and begin, picking up the dead and carrying them outside.
Okay. As soon as you guys all kind of show
Guys,
that you're
this
not
is
gonna
your
make a deal.
chance. This is your chance to multi-class into Warlock.
No.
GG group. Fucking Baylor comes out.
And by the way, when I said no, I kind of said no and then looked to everyone in the room.
It was
Kinda
more like one of
this
those
thing.
no, and you
Oh.
better say no too.
Yeah.
As you guys all kind of non-committally don't give an answer, he assumes that as a no, and he.
Oh.
Go ahead.
Oh, Alex says no as well. I mean,
Okay.
I'm not afraid to say no.
Figured I'd try. And he just seems to fade out, and he's gone.
Good. That fat fuck was barring my way in and out, dragging the bodies.
Alec actually breathes a huge sigh of relief and actually drops down to a knee and
Yeah.
just
You're the only
shakes
one.
his head.
You're the only one that has the most of the knowledge to be able to determine that.
Hey
Charles.
Charles, push to talk, bro.
Ah, that was driving me nuts.
Yep.
I'll help Thrain with the body. With the body.
You might not want to.
Why?
No, you'll see when you come out.
Because
He's gonna have sex with him.
so I'm gonna get. Marco says as like he's going. Yeah, let's give them a burial. And I'll take them. Take one, maybe Thrain takes one, and
I know that none of us really feel well about their decision,
One second.
but let me remind you that they made the decision
Hey, baby.
because they were desperate. Let's give them an honorable burial. You never know at the end of all this what the celestial powers may decide. Perhaps we can speak on their behalf later.
All right. Give me
What does my sword say?
about what?
About them making a deal with a demon out of self-preservation's sake.
It feels pity for the people who did because they have no idea what they're in for. But at the same time, it's one of those that, know what kind of bargain you're getting into before you get into it.
So it wouldn't be opposed for me burying them instead of putting their heads on pikes?
It would prefer you bury them. It does have some
Okay,
kind of
perfect.
decency. But I will be right back.
Okay.
Well, then we'll go along with your plan.
Right?
So not only do I have meat talking to me, I have it talking to me too.
Hopefully it's a wise blade.
It's
Yeah, your head's probably crowded. You got the raven talking to you, the sword, and your own brain.
and a griffin,
And a fiend.
sometimes Sarah, and a fiend now.
And then the
Um,
cacophony of
as-
all of our voices.
So, what I do if we're gonna do the burial, if we're gonna bury them, I wanna when we finally bury them, I'm gonna give a little bit of a prayer in the sense that I want them to have. I kind of vouch to give them an opportunity to redeem themselves, so that they don't have to suffer forever.
I'll add on to that prayer and say, may Karn give them a sword and a shield so they may prove their worth in the afterlife and fight their way out of hell.
So I'll give that.
And Alec
kinda
will
like
add,
Go ahead.
I don't know, may the reverberations of this war transcend even such contracts.
I spit on their grave and tell them to go to hell.
Alec frowns at that, but he doesn't.
Yeah,
I mean,
Marco.
it is what it is.
Yeah.
He gets
Marco
it.
That's usually what it
actually
means.
stay
Is
there,
they're calling you over.
for a little while, like staring at the graves.
All right, I'm back. Sorry about that.
To some extent, I feel this is a failure on our campaign.
Yeah, with the 2 liter.
If these fools had known sooner about the war effort, as I'm trying to get the word out, perhaps they wouldn't have made such foolhardy bargains. Or perhaps they were corrupt, just like that other mayor.
Stop putting their decisions on your own conscience.
Alec thinks about that for a moment and then nods.
Marco just stays there with his scythe kind of at his hand. There seems to be also kind of like a ceremonial tool, and he just kind of sits there staring at the graves, or stands there. I should say.
Eventually, of course, I attack.
Because, just got to do it. Okay, what do you guys do? You guys have
And Irish
paired
jigs.
everybody.
There you go.
I continue to stand at the grave until we need to go.
Then I'll shoot an arrow into like where their headstone would be if they don't have one, so it's marked at least.
I talked to the war cleric, Thrain's friend.
Okay. Yes, Alec. What can I do for you?
I've never been deep into the scriptures, but I've been exposed to them enough. Just curious, do you have an extra ability to sense whether or not these imps and this fiend have truly left town? We're not really sure.
Yeah, I have a way.
Thank you.
She kind of kneels down and kind of grabs a hold of her holy symbol, and you see her just seem to kind of focus. She's mumbling something under her breath. Even you standing close by don't understand what she's saying. You can see the pendant underneath her hand kind of glow, and she kind of just takes a quick look around, and then the glow finally fades. She stands back up. We're clear.
That's good. Another sigh of relief from Alec, and then he allows himself to pretty quickly get over it.
Okay. I'm gonna say, what do you guys do for the next couple of days?
I think I would assume we're gonna make sure that,
Get drunk.
yeah, we're gonna probably just, for Alec's part at any rate, he's gonna be all business. He's gonna be making sure that the army knows what it's gonna be doing, that they're ready for the battle that's ahead of them. He's gonna be making sure that our Drow is going to meet us in a certain place. I'll use the mirror. I'll check in with various entities and principalities that we've dealt with, and check in on them. I'm just going to try to maintain the whole damn thing with a round of pop-ins and discussions and whatnots.
Okay. As you try and get a hold of Magnus and Glenn, the mirror doesn't change.
In the same way that it didn't change when I checked on my family?
Correct.
That means they're dead.
Well, as it was explained, it means they're either dead or they're in another plane, because the mirrors don't work on that kind of level to cross planes.
Oh, okay. Noted.
Yeah, it's one of those you're not real sure, and you're still not sure if your family's actually fully dead. They could just be in another plane, but you pretty much have a good idea that since the attack happened like when everybody was around, more than likely those who didn't survive, which you already know who did, those who didn't survive were probably taken out by the dragon.
Okay. Well, for what it's worth, he's taken it as though it's true.
Yeah. And
Aside from that message, Will, I'm also going to go to the commanders, or I guess the major is the highest ranking guy here right now, and finalizing the battle plans for what's going to be going on the next month or so.
Okay. Pretty much they're just going to be kind of like defense, protecting the village and stuff. They will be slowly moving up, but they don't want to move up too quick and leave too much ground behind them. Plus, they want to make sure reinforcements are all positioned before they make that. Because basically what you guys planned is you guys all make a strategic strike all at once in the various locations. So that way there's no time for anybody to send help to the others.
I'm also going to tell them about the small dot, if you would. The forward outpost, I guess, of contingent of troops keeping an eye on Cardiff Village. The enemy that I saw.
Yeah, I got you. Okay. Okay, so for the next couple of days, that's what you guys do. Thrain, did you want to have that discussion via Facebook, or are you willing to do it on video?
Well, if you have viewers, it'd probably be good to have it on video.
Your call. It's your choice.
No, I don't care. It's going to be quick, so either way. Well, it might be quick, depending on you.
Okay, go ahead.
So, what was that back there?
What was what?
No, don't give that to me. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Being a child of the element, more specifically of the fire element, most fiends give us respect because we weren't created like many of the others. We weren't created by gods. We were born of the elements.
Oh, I'll learn something new about you every day. Anything else you want to share?
I could turn him into a pile of ash if I wanted.
She's pregnant.
Hmm. Hmm. Well, as unsettling as that is, I'm glad you're here with us.
Yeah, well,
And I promise not to eyeball another woman as long as I live.
she just kind of smiles.
Oh, now he might as well have made a deal with that devil.
Yeah.
Oh no. She turned me into a pile of ash. That's a feat in itself.
You have a feeling this woman could probably do a lot more than that. The pile of ash was just being a smartass.
Yeah, I'm good. So, just wink once for good thing, make you smile. Wink twice for bad, and I'll stop.
You're not.
I go away all shaky, and you may continue.
Okay. Yeah, the next couple days you guys kind of just sit and relax, preparing yourselves for what you guys are about to do, because as soon as this military really starts to head out, it's when you guys are going to do your side thing. Catan has been coming back and forth.
He's physically here, or I thought we were going to meet him in the mountains or something, which is fine if he's here.
Well, basically what you guys did was you met up long enough. He met you long enough because he knew where you guys were going. He met you long enough in the village when you guys were away from everybody because he didn't know how people would react to him. To tell you that he has everything set up, that you guys have a clear path to the Ruby City, and that the Drow have finally started fighting back. At least on this continent. I mean, they already were on the Elven continent, but they're more so now because Cronon's forces have begun to infringe on their territory. And he does state for the first time that the Drow and the Duergar are working together as well as the Deep Gnomes.
I gotta ask this. Since it took us 2 weeks to get to Cardiff Village, does that mean our rings recharge?
Yeah, what the hell will say they recharge? Because you could technically just roll a
We
die.
sat here and rolled it 14
Yeah,
or
I'm not
20
gonna-
times. I'm sure they would be.
Yeah, so no big deal. Yeah, your rings are recharged.
Question, guys. Or rather, input for what to do with our mounts after we get dropped off.
I would think that they would be capable hunters and survivalists that could be in the mountains while we're gone.
That could be
I was thinking more we utilize them as help for our friends sealing the mountain passages.
Agreed.
That's what I
So
was.
that they're doing what we cannot do, and we're tackling two birds with one stone.
Well said.
Okay, I'll just make it quick. You guys talk to your mounts. They agree that they will assist the Catan and his forces, and they're very specific when they agree to those terms. You can tell, but they agree to assist Catan and his forces with ensuring that the mountain does not become problematic for a return trip, and if you guys take that way.
Well, remember, we're sending a primary force to the mountains to plug the holes. I think that's what he's talking about, helping, right?
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah.
And also, when we need them, I'll send my raven, and they will convene.
Okay. All right. You guys spend the next couple of days, and then you know that you guys all have the same kind of feeling that you guys can't waste much more time. It's kind of a sense of urgency suddenly begins to feel you guys. That it's getting close.
Let's head out right now.
Okay. Let's go.
Wake everybody up. Time to go. Get your last rations. Everybody get some water.
Marco, shockingly enough, up quite early, way almost before you even go to wake him up, he's already out to the Griffins.
All right, I come running with all my shit. All right, old man, let's go. I'm sure you feel it too.
Let's go.
Alright, you guys make your way. It takes you a lot less time on Griffin back, especially since you don't have this massive force following you, because that's what took you so long to get to Cardiff Village, or else you would have made it in like 2 days. You guys take about 2.5 days because you want to kind of veer away from Solva just in case, because you know basically everything below, everything just south of Solva and above is pretty much in enemy hands, so you're kind of trying to stay out of eyesight as best you can. Before you get
Okay,
to
but on the way past, if we could send a small stealthy contingent with Thrain over to the lake, he could get a drink.
Okay. I mean, the lake is just far enough away where you guys could like stay on, like say,
The east side of
yeah,
it.
the
I
east
will
side of it,
say-
they wouldn't see you.
Because of the happenings at the temple. No need, guys. I'm in full control of my body. Mission takes precedence.
Are you sure,
Wow.
sir?
Thrain is, you've come far, my friend. If you're
Right.
sure.
We have a long way to go and a lot ahead of us. It's best just to dive right in. There's no time.
Then yeah, you guys just kind of veer around, get to.
I
the
talked to Catan about underground rivers and lakes and things, and if he thinks they're going to be in our path at all.
The way to the Ruby City, which took us a while to find, by the way. Yeah, there are several various rivers and miscellaneous lakes that you guys can stop and get some fresh water before the rest of your journey.
He nods.
You guys take about a week once you get underground, traveling through various routes. You're moving as quick as you can, but it's still a long route. Plus, you got to stop every so often before you finally arrive to the cave network underneath the Dead Valley. It's really not a network; it's more just one giant cave. This is where you see the Ruby City, and it is massive.
Well, that was the fastest.
No, there's more to it. I'm just getting you to the good parts. No, like I said, I mean, Katana tried to clear the way for you, and they have patrols. I mean, you ran into a bunch of various mishmatch of odd conglomeration of Duro, deep gnomes, and deep dwarves. They're begrudgingly working together, but they're working together towards a common goal, and that's to keep everybody else out. Then they'll go back to their fighting once everything's done. But yeah, they pretty much just gave you a clear shot. It only took you about a week because you guys are kind of you guys are moving at a fresh pace, and it seems like as corny as it is, it almost seems as if the divine powers that you guys are following have seemed to spur you guys on.
Well, it's not corny at all. That's definitely what's been going on.
True.
So we're a week. We're a week's caving. A week's worth of caving, or
Basically,
Was
what you
it-
guys did was just take a bunch of shortcuts that they had found, and some look like they were probably fresh made, to cut your time down. Because as Catan explained it to you, and he walks with you the whole time, as he explained it to you, that several of the areas would have taken a lot longer, and there's still places that have creatures that would only delay your progress. So they chose to assist you in whatever means they could, and with the makeup of the underground party right now, they managed to get you a clear way at least to the city. They said after that you guys are on your own.
oh no, Catan's not coming with us in there.
No, he's only going to lead you there. He does make his apologies, but he says there's still fighting to be had underground, and that he feels that he is better served here, ensuring that Penryn does not get an influx of supply troops for the other side.
Understood. You have paved the way well for us, Catan. Thank you.
Thank you, Catan.
You know. But yeah, he left you at the cave entrance to this massive city. The entire city is made out of gem, and it's all ruby. I mean, you guys saw the inside of it, so you remember it. I think you guys did, or was that the other group? Fuck, I can't remember.
I know it was only shown to me, I think, the vision of the...
Oh yeah,
Ruby
okay,
City.
so that was Thursday.
I was about to say, that was the older or the younger group ahead of us.
Yeah. Okay, this city is on a scale that you've never seen before. The architecture is unique. It looks like a combination. It looks like a combination of all the races seem to have come together and formed this city. The other weird thing about it is the entire city, every building, is made of this ruby. As you guys begin to slowly approach, it seems like a dead city.
I look around and say, yeah, this is it.
I begin looking for tracks or anything disturbed. Anybody who's been around here recently.
With my vision, could I potentially attempt to guide our way through to find this portal to the other city?
From what you recall, is the portal to get to the other city is within this big city. Specifically,
So it's somewhere.
yeah, it's somewhere in the city itself. From what you can tell on the outside, this city looks like it'd be defended pretty well. This makes the Citadel look like it was just a one-story house. I mean, this thing is massive on a scale that you guys aren't even aware of. As you look at it, like, you can't even see the end of it. Thrain, make a survival check.
Is this in a cave?
Yes, you are in a big cave.
Nice. Advantage. Thank God.
Wow, yeah, be happy. There are no tracks. It looks like, other than the tracks you guys are making, there has been no one here for a very, very long time.
Alright, I relay it back to the group. This place has been dead for quite a long time. No tracks, nothing.
But are we sure this is the Ruby City?
Just as you say that, you hear just on the outskirts a slight humming begin to kick in. As you guys continue to get closer to the city, it starts to get louder.
With that, poof. Not so much.
Well, you think you're stealthy.
Yep.
Well, I try my best to be stealthy and to attempt to find anything that would lead us to where this portal might be.
Wait, this is a cave, so there, I'm a little more stealthy.
Alright, roll stealth check, everyone who wants to go stealthy. Those who don't, you can keep walking.
Oh, we went through a lot of trouble to make sure we were going to be... Oh, no, it wasn't for this. It was for the other thing. We went to all that trouble.
Yep.
But we should... Do we get advantage and all that? We've got all these...
Yeah, you guys have pretty much set your... Because you guys knew what you were going to be getting into, so you tried to set yourself up the best of your ability to be able to be as stealthy as you can. So
Yeah, because I have my...
everybody has advantage.
And also our boot, at least my boots, they can't be traced. Like, they don't
Everybody.
leave footprints.
Everybody's.
Yeah, you guys,
Awesome.
Yeah, you guys all got the same boots, which makes it... Yeah, so you got... Oh, that's right. So, yeah, even with Thrain, when you were looking, you couldn't even see your own tracks, which is kind of cool, because you're like, I just stepped there, but I don't see nothing.
Awesome.
It's trippy, man.
Barhay.
Varhay.
Are you referencing me?
Yes.
Yes.
Waiting on your stealth.
Stealth.
With
If
it.
you're stealthy.
With advantage.
Okay, hold on.
Probably one of the few times you'll actually get advantage in stealth. As you guys continue to approach closer, I mean, it was a long, you guys were just on the outskirts of this cave. This cave is massive. The entire size of the cave is actually forms. It starts about just the outer edge of where you see the mountain range meets the Dead Valley, and that's how big the cave network, and that's how big this cave is. And in dead center, taking almost up the entire cave is the city itself. So you guys are about 300 feet out from the front gate, is what you're assuming. It is closed, but you don't see anybody in it or on the battlement. However, as you guys get closer, that humming gets louder, and then you start to see lights come on throughout the city.
Sending the Raven up to go take a look.
Okay. Have the Raven do a perception check. You guys can too.
Does it get my advantage or no?
Yeah, it actually gets your advantage.
Well, no need.
No need. My dice just wanted to roll all over the place.
Yeah, looks like it's a good night tonight.
Yeah.
Are we all doing perceptions?
If you want. You don't have to.
Whoops. Ignore the.
That's fine.
I got a 6.
That's fine. One of the few times Havar will get a better perception than Alec.
Way to be, Havar.
From what you guys can tell, and Thrain, from what your Raven is relaying to you, the city looks dead, but the lights are most definitely coming on. They seem to be coming on in various sections first. It specifically says it sees the biggest building within the city seems to be lit up first.
I'm gonna keep her up there in case we get to the gate and all of a sudden some automatons or some crazy shit comes out. Tell her to keep an eye out.
Okay. Yeah, she will continue to fly around. Keep an eye out. As you guys get to the gates, they open up.
I kind of looked at everyone as this is happening.
Finally, a hero's welcome.
Alec laughs at that. That was good.
Okay. As you guys walk in, the streets are not. The one weird thing is the streets are not actually made of this ruby. They are, however, some kind of stone you guys don't recognize.
Can I attempt to use my, as a dwarf? I know it's only mostly for history, but
Sure, why not?
knowledge or history?
Just do a knowledge check.
Or I should say intelligence?
Yeah, just do an intelligence check.
I'll ask my sword because it's been around for
I think I have
years.
advantage on stuff like that.
Sure, go ahead.
Oh, whenever you make an intelligence history check related to the origin of stonework, you're considered proficient. So, would this be a history check?
This would be an intelligence check, which would, it would, in a sense, yes, count towards history. So, yeah, you could do that too.
Okay, so that first one was, 10. And the next roll? 11.
Wow. The stonework you don't really recognize. You can definitely tell, the one thing you can tell is the stonework is old. But, I mean, you guys pretty much had a general idea about it. Because,
It's gem cutting, isn't it?
not for the stonework. For the creation of the city, he'd probably have a better chance of trying that. But even
Would my sword know what it is?
your sword definitely knows what it is.
Oh, what is it?
It's a mixture of minerals. They actually took some sandstone, granite, and some marble and mixed it. It apparently strengthened the bricks to a much stronger point, but made it easier to mold. They were only seen in the cities of the race known as the Suhi, which is the creators of this city.
Okay, I'll think about that for a second and say, well, guys, it is a composite of extremely hardened but moldable material from various rocks, I guess, if you will, minerals. And the creators of it are called Suvi, which apparently are the creators of this city.
How did you know all that?
Look at the big brain on Brad.
Butter.
I pat my sword. What do these Suvi look like? Warden.
You get a mental image of an elven-like race, but they are not elves.
Hold it there. I'm sketching it so everybody can see.
Okay.
Nice.
Their ears are actually more elongated than the elven races normally are. In a sense, they kind of look more like the typical cartoon elves, where the ears are ridiculously large. But they tend to be their max height from what you're gathering of this image that you're getting. Because the sword's nice enough to actually show you an image between what a Suhi looks like and what a human looks like. The humans tend to be about 2 feet shorter than the Suhi.
Yeah, so they're tall ass mofos. Right.
Yeah.
I draw the same picture, human to Suvi chart, I guess, and then show the rest of the group.
Interesting.
Your sword begins to go into a tragic story of what exactly happened to him, and it's not very appealing.
How is this? Can I hear the sword?
No, it's only
Me.
talking to Thrain.
Oh, okay.
But you.
I'll relay it.
I was gonna say.
I'll
Thrain
relay
can
the
say-
short version.
Okay.
Short version of it. I'll sum it up. So go ahead, sum it up.
Okay. Basically, what happened to the Suhi race is they were taken down. They were, lack of a better term, almost exterminated completely. Their entire race was on the verge of extinction by another group, another race that was created purposely to end their day.
Wouldn't happen to be the Nemisi, would it?
Nope.
Huh, well, that's good. I'm thinking this, by the way, talking to the sword.
He says the other races, their name here on Fortis would be called Deljorans.
Somebody write that down. I'll relay it. You got another image there, Warden?
Dealjiorns.
Like that?
DiGiorno. Haven't you ever had DiGiorno?
Everything's pizza.
Oh, got it.
As he gives you an image of what they look like dark-skinned humanoids with silver runes over their body. They just look like dark-skinned humanoids, but in order to be able to take out a race that is supposed to be... Because you gave them the short version, but what you were told is the Suhi were an advanced magical and technologically advanced race. They created these cities, and then, to not get into too much detail, because I know your character will just kind of roll his eyes, seeded the universe with their race, and basically watched as other races came into existence.
Thrain is actually a history buff, if you remember. But yes. I'll relay that they are actually the purveyors of technology in their day. And then show them the sketch of these DiGiornos.
Interesting.
You're making me want pizza. Quit that.
I know, right? Okay.
So I don't assume there will be hostiles here unless they were put here before. Because if the sword is correct, the Suvis were a peaceful folk.
Yes, they were a very peaceful race. They were knowledgeable in warfare because they weren't stupid, but they didn't seek it out. They were more of a kind of live and let live kind of thing. And the Deljorns were the ones who really changed their thought process. Because of the Deljorns, these cities were upgraded to much grander scales.
Shall we? I put a hand forward onto the permacrete road.
Well, let's do it. Let's find out what the world has in store for us today.
Okay. As you guys get about 10 minutes into it, this is a big city. You guys haven't even gotten like a quarter of the way into the city yet. You see before you an image of a female version of the Suki.
Do you speak Suvini, sword?
No, sorry, that's not one of the languages I picked up. But if I recall correctly, and what I know, yeah, these guys will be able to talk. I believe they know Common.
Well, nudge Alec. Speak plainly.
Oh no, I've just committed the worst player faux pas.
Uh-oh.
I don't know what's happening.
Oh.
An image of a Suvi is before us. A female.
A female.
I'm nudging you because you're our fearless leader, as proclaimed. So, you do the talking. Speak in common.
The weird thing is you can see right through her, but she is physically standing in front of you, and she hasn't said anything yet.
Well met then.
I'll say this in character. That's it? That's what you got?
Oh, it's something.
That's why you pay me the big bucks. Now just calm down and watch a master at work. You start a conversation with a hello.
Marco's just face palming right now.
I look back at the thing. So where were we?
You hear it go through several languages, none of which any of you recognize.
No Druidic?
Nope.
No Draconic? No...
That's okay, because
Nemesi?
Ancient
I say-
Draconic.
I actually begin to play some music. I know it gets tired of everybody. He always plays music.
It's your
But
job.
it's the way I cast spells. And playing this music, I cast my comprehend languages.
Something tells you you don't need to do that.
Oh.
As you're getting ready to, something in your mind says, give it a minute.
Okay, I give it a minute.
And then eventually, she starts speaking common. Welcome.
Okay.
Welcome, heroes of the earth. We've been waiting for you.
That's not creepy at all.
I look to Luke.
Forgive me for the delay in speaking. I was trying to determine what time frame we were in.
Alec gives a half bow and says, thank you. I'm afraid you have us at a disadvantage, he says, smiling.
I knew somebody was going to do it. Please call me Ava.
Of course, Ava.
You guys seek passage to the Sapphire City, do you not?
That would be correct.
Alec nods.
Marco looks a little bit suspicious.
You are wise and foretold, Ava.
She looked over at Marco. You have nothing to fear, Master Dwarf. I merely know because it was prophesized by the race that created me.
Is that so?
Thrain lets out a low whistle.
Yeah.
Marco has like wide eyes at that.
Well, here's the other catch. What the sword told you is that this civilization is several million years old.
Oh, by the way, guys, these guys are millions of years old.
So for them to prophesize your coming, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah, look at that, guys. In order to prophesy about an ego our size, they needed 1,000,000 years.
So I say, So sorry, I had the words and then I left my tongue. You guys go ahead.
Brain fart.
I take it passage then isn't going to be an issue.
Not at all.
And what of the Sapphire City we're told of? Will that be an issue?
No, but outside the Sapphire City, when you go to take the transport to the beginnings of where the Temple of the Elements will be, that will be where your true fight will begin.
You prophesize if we live or die?
Good question.
Unfortunately, with prophecies, you can only see one possible aspect. The Suhi prided themselves on trying to see as many as possible. So they have many possibilities. The one thing they did learn is that with prophecies, it all depends on those prophesies and the decision they make on how they fare.
No.
I mean,
After you, sir. I just
I
have one
was
more
out of
question.
character. I was just going to say that I don't feel so bad about my player faux pas now because the DM's doing a DM faux pas. He's eating while DMing.
I know, right?
I've done that before.
You think you
Hungry.
could, you have a library in this place? That's not moth-ridden and eaten and all that? Or an armory or something?
They were giving me shit because I was eating while. She nods and starts walking forward. She actually turns around and just starts heading off.
I'll hold her pocket,
Hold her pocket?
Yo, what?
meaning follow her closely.
Okay, gotcha.
Oh.
I thought it was like a Trump moment, you know, where you're gonna grab her by the.
Yep. Let me
By the
grab
cooch.
vagina. Yep, and then have Sarah light me ablaze.
I mean, you could try. You
No,
can.
I'm good.
You can see
Getting
right.
some of that Cortana cooch.
Well, you can see right through her. So.
I'm good. Sarah's here.
Okay, you guys follow her. She leads you to a very large building. However, not the biggest one. She leads you to a building. It looks like every other library you've ever seen, but this is on a scale that you've never seen. This library is probably the size of Montana itself.
Take a few minutes, Alec. I'm going to take a few minutes myself because I love history, and we could use a few minutes because this is lost. And also, quick note, Alec. I'm chatting rather fastly because I'm excited. We should definitely make this into like a Heroes of the Hearth, like Citadel.
Well, I'm as intrigued at history as the next. That's certainly for sure. I'd like to join you in that. As for the Citadel, I wouldn't presume to speak for our friends here. What are they called again?
Suvi, I say.
The Suvi and their city.
Well, you know, they're dead, I say matter-of-factly. So, you know.
I know, it's... Yes, of course.
Suki.
Suvi sounds better.
Well, what's Ava's reaction when Thrain says that? I looked at Ava.
Yeah, me too.
She didn't seem to say anything. You weren't talking directly to her, so.
Alec looks at Ava and says, "You're a million years old. How do you feel about the war abroad and us using this as a base of operations, if you will?"
In my time, I have gathered information from all across the universe. Wars happen all the time.
So basically, she doesn't give a shit.
This is just one more thing. As for the Citadel aspect, the city does not fly.
Well, like,
You misunderstand me. I merely mean for us to reside here and use its amenities for the purposes of our yet another war.
That's fine.
Another
Bingo.
excellent idea, Thrain. Thank you.
You
yep.
guys,
I'm gonna put forth the, while I'm looking for books, I'm gonna slide, Alec, I'm gonna PM you the thing I sketched. Not literally, but
Yeah. Cool. And Alec is joining you on this history bender of yours. He's all about it. So
Okay, Havar and Marco, what do you two do?
I'm trying to figure out what I wanted to say to the dang girl.
Okay. Well,
Books. So many books.
the two geeks are into geek mode and learning history. What do you?
Plant section.
Okay. You are. Ava
plan
does,
section.
Ava does make you aware there was a farming community created within the city for protect, mainly because if the city was ever attacked, it didn't. The Suhi believed in protecting all of its citizens, so they actually have an entire section of the city devoted to farming.
Really?
it's in group chat. Looks cool as a banner anyway.
Oh, you have the banner? Awesome. I'm trying
Oh,
to
that is
get
awesome.
to
I like
I
that
don't
actually.
see it. Where is it?
Oh, that's
Group
fabulous.
chat. It's like an elvish look to it because at least two of us are elvish, you know? Well, Fae.
Oh, on Facebook. Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Huzzah.
Banner.
I look to Suhi and I say,
Havar can be the Viking ship in the center.
I'm just gonna go wander around. I don't care about books.
Okay.
what is your, I look to Suhi
Ava.
and I say, oh, sorry, Ava. And I say, what do you do now that everything seems to be empty?
I maintain the city and the connection to the other cities.
The Suhi
You did notice she pluralized that.
pluralized what, the cities?
Cities.
Connection to the cities.
So wait, you're connected to all the other cities?
Affirmative.
Do these cities have defense mechanisms?
All cities of this make are connected, have their own defensive capabilities. You are currently standing within the capital city of this world.
Wait, the Suhi are on other worlds?
She nods.
What's other worlds? Oh, I'm not there. I don't say
Yeah.
that.
Other worlds as in other planes?
No, I mean other worlds.
In the archaeology druidic section of the community, do they theorize the idea of other planets and that kind of thing? Do they say Fortis is a planet? Or do they...
Fortis has always been considered a planet by everyone, by a majority of the world. But it's just like Earth. We assume we're the only inhabited planet in the entire universe. Fortis is the same way. They're completely unaware of other races, of other worlds that could possibly be, inhabited. There is some speculation, and there is some talks between some of the older ones and some odd history books that they found that leads some scholars to believe that there are other inhabited worlds, and that some of the races here on Fortis were not original to Fortis.
I say to Suhi, Ava, sorry. So that's what... So the stories are true.
Relatively.
Good enough.
Suddenly she's like, psych. Other worlds. You guys are thick.
Relatively speaking, a majority of the races you find here are from here, but there are a few that have made their way from other areas.
It's...
Selkie, I'm sure.
That could be an alien.
What... is the reason why these cities haven't been occupied is because you've been defending them?
The reason these cities haven't been occupied is A, because the knowledge of their existence has been extremely limited, and B, because those who are deemed worthy are the only ones that have access to that knowledge.
Do you mind if I ask how one is deemed worthy?
She taps she points to the symbol you wear.
Ah,
You also have to be a member of the Million Year Prophecy Club.
Yeah, apparently. She goes, I do notice you are missing a member. If I recall correctly, she stops and thinks for a second. Yes,
Marcel.
the records do indicate that you were supposed to have another member.
Unfortunately, he had to stay behind.
Very well.
But who knows? He might catch up. He might very well catch up with us. He sometimes does.
As she takes you to the garden area. Oh, yeah, Druid's Paradise. It is a massive farming, there's like a whole quarter to the city that is just nothing but farming. There's giant plots of land, all still within the city walls, that is nothing but for farming. You can see it's set up in rows. You can tell they probably have, each row has a specific purpose. And then, there are there are a couple of rows that look like they have the same kind of thing. The plants, there are no plants, however, right now. There are no trees or anything like that. You have a feeling those either died off or, were never here.
He just kind of looks around and kind of takes it all in. He almost is in a state of disbelief. And he's kind of speechless. And he says, hopefully we can use these well. Thank you for letting us stay here. Or at least pass through.
As you're sitting and talking, you see her kind of zone off for a second. Would you guys stop drawing shit on the maps? I've been noticing, I just didn't say nothing.
Only,
The fuck is the guy?
I'm sorry, that just
It's an orc.
looks more like a vampire.
Who would do something like that?
I wonder.
I don't know.
Remember, it is color-coded, guys.
I'm being sarcastic.
I know. As you're staring at, just like this lot of empty farmland, you see strange devices seem to pop up out of the ground. It's like a pole that seemed to just come out of the ground, and then you see, okay, out of character, you see a sprinkler. In character, you see some strange device you've never seen before. And
What is this?
it just begins spitting water in in one of those little arcs.
Oh, I get shocked a little bit and jump back and go, oh, how clever.
Now that the city is coming back to life, all things must begin.
What was the culture of these Suhi, Ava? What was their desires, their dreams? What did they want to do?
All things the DM hasn't written yet, man. Why you gotta
I know,
go
right?
down the rabbit hole?
I know.
I always do. Yeah, you know me. I
Always.
always ask these questions.
Always goes all philosophical and turns it into
Damn
this
it.
giant.
Well, you don't. If it's just a lot of information to to get out, you can just give me
Adam.
the gist.
Dude, I was just teasing, man.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
I'm always joking. Please go to town.
Specifically, she says their entire purpose was to truly find what the meaning of life is, and to live life to the fullest as much as they could. They believed in all races had a reason for existence and should exist, and they were very welcoming until the Deljorans came. Then, not so much.
Seems like there's this odd pattern of species trying to do their best, and then some punks decide to come around and ruin everything, eh?
She actually kind of oddly chuckles, which is weird. Thrain, you find tons of books on warfare, stuff you didn't even realize existed. You also see designs of weird implements that you've never seen before. Add a character. They're laser guns, for lack of a better term.
Game over, guys.
He's like, game over.
Somebody got it.
This is like, you know, the first third of the game that we've played is like, you know, Heroes of the Hearth. And then the second one was like, Heroes of the Hearth 2, The Citadel. And now it's the third installment, Heroes of the Hearth 3, In Space.
I'm gonna build a fucking laser gun.
The schematics are above your knowledge.
The next session, it's going to be Heroes of the Hearth 4. Heroes of the Hearth
I'll just
versus
have
Freddy.
the AI teach me how to do it. You put that there, this there. Yeah, this fucking laser sniper rifle. Good game. Alright, anyway.
The city continues to power up. The main lights come on, but you notice like there's no activity other than you guys. Alec, what are you looking for throughout the library? Don't worry, Charles. I'll get to you in a minute. You're gonna wander and have some fun.
I was just kind of on a... I guess I was kind of being pulled along by Thrain's excitement, and so I'm sure I would check out what he's looking at.
Okay.
But I'm sure I'll steal myself away to browse and see what kind of sections they're even. I'll take a holistic approach to the library.
Okay. The catch is, Thrain and Alec, you guys don't understand a single word of the language. The most you can see is pictures.
Hey, lady, translate this for me.
I would have to translate it word by word. And it's now that you realize that Adam's not, Adam. My... wow, that was a random
Basically
slip.
said no.
Marco's not with you anymore. And you're pretty sure you watched, you know, now that you remember, you're pretty sure you watched Marco walk off with Ava, but yet she's standing right here with you guys.
Oh, so she's a ghost. Out of game, I know what she is, but in game. Well, ghost lady, is there a way you can write? Can you write at all?
I have no capabilities of touching anything here.
Do you have a printing press?
Yes, of sorts.
Can you print this, taps on these books, into common?
You see her think for a second. Possibly, but it would take some rearranging of the code.
Well, girl, you and I are going to become best friends. Here you go. He shovels like 4 books her way.
I like how he's shoveling books through.
Okay. Alec, as you wander around, you find plenty of books. Unfortunately, you don't understand them.
I guess I just don't know. Yeah, I wouldn't even know what section I'm looking at. I look for a picture section. I guess something. You know, I look for like.
Looks for picture books.
I know,
Yeah,
right?
I look for like atlases. How about that? And I'm gonna see
Okay.
shit that I never thought was even a thing. So hold on to your butts. I check out the atlas section.
Okay.
Child section.
Okay, you managed to get to a section. Yeah, you don't understand the words that are like on the ends of the bookshelves, but you find a bunch of books, and they're pretty big, like more wide-wise than they are thick. And as you put one down and you flip it open, first thing you see is a map of Fortis. the entire world. And you know, this map hasn't been around. Well, the map that you're seeing doesn't look anything like the map even in your own history books. This map shows 7 continents. You know, as far as your guys' history goes back, there were only 4.
Oh, this has them all. Because
Uh,
I know that we've discovered some even since the war began. You know, in the last couple months, 6 months or whatever. But
Yeah. The catch is you're pretty sure, aside from the one dragon chain that, you guys are sworn never to talk about, um, every other continent that is now in existence all would have come from the 4 main continents that Fortis originally had, or you thought Fortis originally had. This map is now showing it had 7 original continents, 3 of which, even if you were to break it off into various pieces, match nothing like what you have on the map, on what you've seen of the world now. So there are 3 large
Okay.
chunks of land that you guys have never seen.
I look for to see if there's others updated maps or anything like like I assume this is going to be very 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 far into the past, obviously.
Yeah.
But is there some that are not as far into the past that would show the movement of these? Like if you could make a flip book and flip through it, it'd be an animation.
No. The closest you find, unfortunately, you can't. The most you can read is numbers, and you're not really understanding the numbers because they're numbers, but they don't make sense. You guys have years. I mean, like what year it is now. And don't ask because
Well, I wouldn't need to know that. I would be able to just see.
Yeah, from what you can tell, the most newest map, which you think is like on the last page, it still is showing 7 continents. You can see
And
the
are
4.
they drifting and moving?
No, they look like they've stayed pretty stationary. You can see the 4 main continents that you've always grown up with, grown up knowing. The 4 big continents where Penryn and all the other little
Yeah.
islands have since become. You can see those 4, but there's 3 others, more on the western side of the things, that you don't recognize because there's not even any landmass that, even if you assume with the cataclysm how it broke up all the big continent, there's nothing that even makes sense for how, where these other 3 continents came from or where they went.
Okay. All right. I try to get a good understanding of the positioning of this place on the map in terms of its relation to the globe, and I see if I can use my mirror to pinpoint it and actually scry these lands to see if they still exist today.
Okay, good idea. Yeah, as you kind of look at it and you pull your mirror out, you're looking at
And
the map.
let me
looking
be
at the-
clear that I've learned not to scry willy-nilly, so to speak. I'm gonna try to bring my view or my point of view in, and I have no idea if I can hide whether I'm scrying or not, actually, now that I think about it. So I'm just gonna do what I can.
Okay. You're going to do your best with what you have learned from the last time you guys cried, got pulled into an
Yeah.
area you weren't ready for. Um, you try your best as you kind of focus on the map that is in this book, and then focusing on the world. As you move, those 3 continents don't exist. Their locations where they should be are just, according to what you're seeing through the mirror, are now just giant plots of water.
Okay, so I'm gonna take 2 possibilities from this. One, there's land masses on Fortis that we don't know exist, but do. Or 2, there's land masses on Fortis that were casualties of cataclysms in the past that we have no idea about.
Makes sense. Those are 2, informed guesses on what could have happened. Havar, as you're randomly wandering around, you're just like, ugh, let the geeks be geeks and let the druid be a druid. You're just kind of wandering around. You run across this area, and it looks like everything you would expect of a barracks.
Okay, I'll check it out.
Okay. As you walk into this part is even walled off on its own, separate from, it's inside the city, but it's walled off within the city. As you walk in, yeah, this looks like a barracks. There's no other description for it. You got the big buildings there. You got a, big training ground. And then you see this large, elongated building. Out of character, it looks kind of like a warehouse. And it seems a little off for where it's at, but as you approach it, because you're like, hey, this building's a little different, as you walk in, as you go up to the doors, they open automatically. You see weapons.
I have a joygasm.
And Havar has a heart attack from all the toys.
I see if there's a hammer and an axe.
You actually find numerous hammers and numerous axes, along with numerous swords, armor. There are no laser guns. There are no lightsabers because Thursday has them.
What?
Yes, they have lightsabers.
How did you give the kids the better
I
weapon?
know so much
No,
more.
I'm happy. I'm happy
Believe
that
me,
we
you-
don't have
you don't
lightsabers.
want them.
I'm honest. I'm going to be honest. I didn't want the lightsabers.
Yeah,
Shh.
believe they're not as good
I
as you
won't lie,
think.
there's a part of me that's sitting here going, I want to ask for this and this, but no, I'm going to be a good boy. I'm just going to wander around because that's what my guy would do.
Well, Tyson and Charles were both in the Thursday game when they ran across this, so they've already seen some of this.
No,
Oh,
it's
man.
different. This is different.
Yeah, it's slightly different. You guys would run across some other things.
Well, this is Emerald, and the other, or this one's Ruby, and the other one was Emerald, wasn't it?
Plus, the other one was filled with Fey dragons, and
Yeah.
this is filled with this, and it's tech, and they're aliens.
Yep, that's it. But yeah, you see a lot of various weapons. As you go to pick up just a random hammer and a random axe, they're really light in your hands.
Oh, I need one of those.
I call that Spirit's voice and see if it shows up.
You see an image appear. Yes, Master Havar, how can I help you?
So, how do I find the best axe and hammer here?
The Suhi once believed that as you look over your choice of items and weapons and equipment, that whatever is best suited for you will draw your eye more than the others. So my recommendation is look around.
I close my eyes and I kind of concentrate and just kind of move along the stuff, feeling for a vibration.
Never mind. Okay.
Or if I fart. If I fart, I'll get that item too.
What, if you fart?
Yeah,
That would
that
be
sounds
a-
very barbarian to me.
That would be a vibration.
As you kind of wander around and just look at the various hammers and the various axes, we'll do hammers first. As you walk, there's this one that as you pass it, you don't even realize it, but your eyes immediately get drawn to it, and then you're kind of standing there and just staring at it. It's
Hey guys, I interrupt, but I actually have
I
to have
clearly
an
look
early.
away.
One second. What's up, Adam?
I have to head out a little bit early, guys. I gotta help with my mom with something down in the basement. Sorry.
Sounds kinky.
Oh Jesus, dude.
A little disturbing too.
Anyway, I'll see you guys later, okay?
All
I'm
right.
sorry.
Yeah, take it easy.
No
Adam.
problem, man.
Take it easy, guys.
That never mind.
I can't say anything. I helped my mom make her bed. in
Yeah,
the
no,
middle
I
of
was
you
gonna
guys
say
talking.
that brought me back. But yeah. Okay, so what's up?
Okay. Yeah, as you sit and stare at this hammer, it's gorgeous. I mean, it's definitely fits your style, just from the look of it. And as you go to pick it up, it's even lighter than the first hammer you picked up.
Kind of heft it a little bit, swing it around a little bit, see how it feels.
As you swing it around, it seems to be moving pretty fast.
Okay, I put my old one down there where it was, and then I kind of looking for a battle axe.
Okay. Takes you a little longer. Alec, Thrain, while you guys are kind of shopping around. Yeah, you're finding a bunch of books. Alec, these are definitely map books. And as you open some more books, these are worlds you've never seen.
I was wondering if I was gonna discover something like
Yep.
that.
You don't recognize any of this geography at all. These are definitely, I mean, you're not sure what they are. From the looks of them, they look like other worlds, but, you know, yeah, there's nothing familiar about the geography.
Alec would be, I don't know what he would be. He would just be kind of dumbstruck by what he's looking at, and also consider the possibility that they're forgeries. I mean, not, or they're just fantasy pieces.
Yeah, unfortunately, you can't tell because you can't read anything, so you don't know what anything is. You're just looking at
Yeah.
maps.
Well, even the historic Fortis map, honestly, he's going to think about it in a skeptical terms, because this map is one map. He's seen many maps, and none of them have had a continent, right? So this map has a lot to prove, right? So now we have maps of other worlds that don't even exist, that nobody's ever seen. So I'm going to look around for evidence that this is an area of academic, if I can find any evidence at all that this is an area of academic rigor, or if it's like an entertainment place.
Okay. As you go through various other books, I assume, Thrain, you're just randomly wandering around. You apparently found the warfare section. You're not even sure how you found it, but you're finding all kinds of various fighting styles, stuff like that. As you're doing that, Alec, as you continue to look around this section, there was a small section just for maps, and now as you begin to look through other things, unfortunately, now you're getting into a lot of the books that have writing, and unfortunately, you don't understand the language. So,
Well, then I cast comprehend languages.
okay, I was waiting on that.
Yeah, I was derping on that.
I was like, I know you
But
should
I
have cast it
really
earlier.
should have thought of that when he was like trying to come up with amazingly inventive ways of getting a translation of the books. I could have cast it then.
Yep.
And translated it for him. But yeah, that's what I do.
Okay. As you manage to cast it, and then you start looking at it, the words begin to slowly form, and now you can read them. As you go back and, because you want to test and make sure that those maps that you were reading are accurate. As you read the first book you picked up, the first map book, it says Fortis. And as you look through it, it does.
Oh, well, there's the proof right there. It says Fortis.
It does state the various continents. It names some weird things, which even the 4 continents that you're aware of, they were named something different. But doesn't necessarily mean it's wrong. I mean,
Right.
names change all the time.
I understand.
But
Well, their culture and then their language, they may have named it something different.
yeah,
so.
each culture names everything different. too.
Or 100 billion years ago, when all, maybe they were called something different.
Yeah, anything is quite possible. I mean, from what Thrain told you guys, the civilization is pretty old. So, I mean, it's quite possible way back when they were in existence, that's what everything was called. And since they disappeared, now everything's called different. As you look through the other book, the one that had all the writing, this seems to be a diary of one of the Suhi from long ago. Specifically, this is a scholar and a history buff, which is ironic for them to have a history. But this tells the creation of the universe. It does say at the beginning, I cannot prove any of this, but this is what I believe, and many others agree with my statements, with what I have been able to prove. But I do believe that there was nothing, and then
So,
everything was
at the
created.
very least, this author is under the auspices of, being an academic or trying to come up with the truth.
Yeah, that's what you can gather. And as you read further, basically his belief is that the first things ever in creation were the three weaves. To separate, four things, the three weaves and then time itself was all created at the same time. From there, the weaves created an avatar of sorts to represent them to others. The avatars then created more, so on and so forth, and thus the creation of the gods was officially born. The gods then got bored and created life.
How does this creation story match up with other creation stories I'm familiar with?
There are some similarities. A lot of races believe that, those who, I mean, even with the gods, they believe that the gods, someone had to create the gods. There was never an explanation of who created the gods. Some say they just came into existence. It's one of those, how do you prove that without becoming a god yourself? But from what they've been able to gather is that the gods were, once the gods were created, they created the various races, and life was born. So I mean, it falls somewhat in line. It just continues where there was a lot of questions, and it fills in the holes. It's questionable whether or not it's actually accurate. I mean, this author specifically stated in, on his first page that, this is what I believe, and many others, of the same mind tend to believe as well. But
Well, it's theology. I mean, it's not like anybody can prove any of it, right?
yeah, I mean, ultimately that's what it boils down to.
Although, to be fair, the gods are real and they come and visit us, so I guess we could just ask.
That
Hey,
is
were
true.
you made by the four weaves?
That is true.
Just be like, hey, nice weave, baby.
Oh, I was waiting. Someone was eventually going to say it.
Well, Alex is gonna weave his way through the various books, and pretty much she'll be doing this for quite a while. So you guys should weave on with your stuff.
Really?
Yeah, I also wanted to fund the armory as well, so.
Okay. Yeah, Haybar walked off. You knew this wasn't his kind of thing, so you figure he's probably wandering around the city just checking it out. Eventually you get bored. You're like, hey, I'm a big history buff, but there's a time and place for everything, and we got other things we need to get done. So you go and try and find...
Me?
Well, Thrain right now, because you're busy trying...
Oh.
This is at the point in time where you're trying to, you're comparing the maps, using the mirror, and then you begin to...
Yep.
So Thrain, you're like, I'm gonna go find Havar real quick. As you wander around, uh, do you ask Ava to direct you to Havar, or do you just wander?
Not to Havar. I don't really care where he is, big asshole. I just want to go to the armory.
Okay. She leads you,
When
and
I'm done, I'm gonna come back looking for you guys to show it to you, anyways.
okay. Just as you're walking out of the library, you see Havar coming out, and he's got 2 new toys.
Maybe now you'll be worth a damn, I say as I push past.
Wow.
Sorry, guys, I'm not there to smooth that one over.
Nothing from
I
Havar,
was
huh?
feeling so inadequate.
Oh, that's too funny. Okay. Havar, he passes right by you. Just seems to be. You see a secondary Ava leading Thrain. Thrain, you did notice when Havar was approaching, he had another Ava with him.
What, lady? I don't get your undivided attention?
I can concentrate on all of you at once.
Yeah.
And
Where's
then a
Sarah at,
second
by the way?
and a third appears around Havar, and they all say, "Except we need to all 3 of us in order to see all these muscles."
Or to find his brain, whichever comes first.
Sarah's just following you. She doesn't say anything. She just thinks it's weird that you're trying to hit on it hologram.
I was just being funny.
Yeah. But she's just kind of following you. She got kind of bored, like you guys went book shopping and it wasn't really her thing, so she just kind of sat and waited.
Alright. I walk in. What's in there for me?
Okay. As you look around, weapons, armor. Like this is definitely
Weapons and armor.
Yeah, weapons and armor. This is definitely your place. Now you know where Havar came from.
I'm gonna have to ask Sarah if she likes fish sticks one of these days.
She likes them beer battered.
Apparently she likes them a lot because she's sleeping with me.
Have you seen the South Park episode, the fish stick joke?
Probably a long time ago.
Yeah, I was gonna say I haven't watched South Park in a while.
Yeah, you like fish sticks?
Havar, do you follow Thrain or do you go try and find Alec and bring him with you?
Well, since Thrain is in a bad mood, I'll go see Alec.
Okay.
Thrain's not in a bad mood. You just fuck with him, so he fucks with you.
Okay. Thrain, yeah, as you walk in, I mean, you heard the description I gave to Charles. Weapons, armor. You're like dumbstruck because you're like, wow, these are nice. I mean, they're all very exquisite items. As you're looking at them, they're very, I mean, they're gorgeous in their design, but they, other than just looking pretty, you can tell they probably serve one hell of a purpose.
Well, I'm gonna do what Thrain does and look for one that is slightly colder than the others, and also one that agrees with Warden.
Okay.
Longsword, to be specific.
Gotcha. Havar, as you walk into the library, kind of look around, you hear some shuffling, and you see Alec, and he's busy, he's looking at various books, and he seems to be reading a lot.
Yeah, and he's walking back and forth, checking one against the other, and he's, really?
Alec, I believe once you're done there, you may want to go where I just came from.
Alec, raises a finger into the air and doesn't even look up. And with his other hand, he puts his glasses closer to the edge of his nose, and he looks real carefully at something, and then nods to himself, and then slowly looks up. Oh, hi, Havar. New toys?
I take my hammer and show it to him and hold it out for him to look at it.
Is it amazing?
Oh yeah, it's much better than his other one, and the looks of it, I mean, you've never seen anything like it. I mean, you know, the dwarves have some pretty good stuff, and this would make the dwarves look like, you know, like a child's toy.
Well, there. That's more suitable. Where'd you get that?
There's a armory out in the city. I believe that's where Thrain's at right now, matter of fact.
I wouldn't be surprised. Well, he looks back at some of the other stuff. I suppose if we're going to make a base of this place, which is an astounding fact in and of itself, this stuff will be safe here. Lead the way. I'd like to see.
Okay.
I'm not taking back.
Okay. Meanwhile, Thrain, as you're kind of looking around, yeah, you've been looking at a bunch of swords and stuff, and you're like, they're all right. I mean, these are beautiful weapons, but nothing really fits you. And then you find one that, yeah, you can't stop looking at it. You're like, wow, this is just impressive.
I grab it, and then I draw Warden out, and I test their balance together.
Perfectly balanced. And as you grabbed the hilt, you felt a slight cold as you grabbed the blade, grabbed the hilt, and then as you're holding it and kind of holding it between the two, you can actually see like the mist from when you bring, like when it's really cold, like the fog from dry ice seems to be kind of emanating from the blade.
I think down. What do you think, Warden?
Not a bad piece of equipment right there.
Actually, Warden's like, Brunhilde, is that you? And the other sort of like, my love, my long lost love.
That'd be shitty. I'd have couples arguments in my head all the time.
You wanted it.
No, I'll brandish it, and I shall call you Wrath, and I'll strap him to my other side.
Okay.
And I'll look at Sarah and say, you should probably upgrade your piece too. Things are going to be a lot rougher from here on out.
She smiles. Okay, I'll be over there looking.
Was that innuendo?
Besides me, I'd like to also know what your weapon of choice is.
I have several.
Well, that way to make me feel secure. I wink.
She winks twice.
Fuck. Son of a bitch.
That's fucked up. Okay, eventually, Alec, you show up. You can see Thrain and Sarah. Thrain also has a new toy, and Sarah seems to be just kind of staring at some of the racks, and she's just looking. Right now, Thrain, you notice she's looking at bows. But you do know she does carry swords.
Ah, woman after my own heart. I'd upgrade my bow, but my bow was given to me by God. No big deal.
She looks at you, rolls her eyes. Yeah, when are you gonna stop harping on that one?
Literally the first time you said it.
Yeah, really. But I'll stop once my God stops being such a badass.
Zing, says Alec from across the room.
Yeah, Alec, as you walk in, I mean, there's weapons. I mean, pretty much almost anything you could think of in here that fits. It's all standard gear, what you're gathering for this race. It's all standard gear, but it's very exquisite looking. Nothing in here looks battered, dinged. I mean, this all looks like fresh stuff, like they never got to ever use it.
Okay, well, I pick up a immaculately stringed lute that has a shotgun undersling.
Desperado.
Just kidding.
Yeah. You don't find anything like that.
That's
Find
okay.
a loot.
I probably could use an actual weapon that is nice
Yes,
for once.
that would be beneficial.
I've got enough music things and such and whatnots. So with that in mind, I have no idea what that's going to be. I do have, it's probably going to be a finesse weapon. I will browse while the others role play and kind of think about it
Okay.
off screen.
Gotcha. Okay. Thrain, you finally see Sarah. She picks a short bow. You see as she pulls it back. It looks like it's one of those, really tough bows to pull back, but she seems to pull it back pretty easily. She doesn't have an arrow in it or anything. She's just kind of pulling it back. She's kind of looking.
I pull one from mine and toss it to her.
She grabs it. She walks a little further down, and you didn't notice it at first because you guys all got distracted by the weapons. If you walk a little further down, you actually see like a little archery range. You can obviously none of the targets have been used, but you can see it's obviously where they can test weapons. And she walks over. She stands. You see her judge distance. She actually takes a couple steps back. Thrain, from what you're gathering, she's about 1,000 feet away. She pulls the bow back, and you see as she pulls the bow back with the arrow, you actually see it spark with lightning, and then she fires it. As it hits the target, you see the target just explode. Oh, I like this toy.
Well, we can't all shoot sparks from our tips, now can we? I say.
Well, gotta make it up somewhere.
Sounds like something Fellbeard would say.
I know, right?
Well then, I'm glad you like it. I'll continuously pull 50 arrows from my quiver and hand them to her.
She keeps firing. Every shot still, boom, explodes. The weird thing is, as one, disintegrate, one of the targets disintegrates, another one seems to pop up.
Well, I'll go to a testing dummy for my swords and begin slicing and dicing, getting a feel for them.
Oh, yeah, these are nice. As soon as the cold blade hits, it freezes that side of the body. The body of the mannequin, that is. And then you're like, oh, this is so nice. When you're using both blades, you seem to be a little bit faster.
Nice.
Yeah. I will get you guys the stats later. Just send me a quick message about what exactly you guys picked up. I don't want to go too far without Adam around. Bad enough we're already missing.
Yeah, that's fine.
But yeah. So
Truth be told, I actually have an errand that I've been putting off and was concerned it would be well into the late nights that I could do it. So if you guys are talking about maybe wrapping up early, I'm on board with that.
Yeah, I'm thinking for now, just because, like I said, I don't want to leave Adam out of it, and since next week we will have Christina back, then Marcel can catch up with you guys, and I'll have to figure out how to get him there. But yeah, we could probably leave it there for now. It's gonna be a little early session tonight, but now you guys.
We can pick up Marcel at any time, by the way, with our teleportations.
Very true. So how about we end it there for now? I know it's kind of early, and I know most of us like to continue on, but I don't want to go too far because basically after this, you guys are going straight to the other city, the Sapphire City.
Alrighty.
All right. Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Stay tuned next week as the fun begins.